Hi Flunk friends, welcome to part 3 of our Q&A. If you haven't seen part 1 and 2, make sure to go check out those as well. Hopefully we get to your question today, but if we don't, just leave it down below again and we'll be able to come back and do more in the future. So I'm Jess, I play Ingrid if anyone doesn't know.
I'm Kelsie, I play Dani.
And yes, part 3 of questions. I love doing these.
Yeah.
So the first question that you guys sent in was, what's your favorite TV series? I'm so ready.
Such a big question.
I'm not going to name one. No way.
No way. Damn. Okay, so I love Santa Clarita Diet and I'm really sad that it's been cancelled.
What?
It got cancelled. I'm heartbroken.
When did this happen?
Really recently.
Yeah.
I'm still dealing with it. And I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine because it's so wholesome and good for a laugh. And I'll pick one more. Oh, there are so many. And I love a little series called Troll Hunters, which is on Netflix. It's Guillermo del Toro, and it actually had oh my gosh, I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
It's like this animated, it's like a kid series, it's this animated series. Anton Yelchin was in it, and he died, unfortunately, quite young, but in the middle of kind of making it. So it's this amazing show of like his last kind of work, and it's phenomenal. So I love that. It's beautiful. How about you?
The Handmaid's Tale, Big Little Lies, Game of Thrones, Fleabag.
She talks about Fleabag a lot.
That's all for now. That's kind of like my most recent and also kind of like all-time favorites. Yeah, I do love Fleabag. It's just so good. All right, just really quickly off the top of my head what I love about each of the shows. Oh, by the way, for Game of Thrones, I tried to watch it kind of, way earlier on, and I wasn't really focusing, and I would skip to all the female storylines. Like, I just wasn't interested in the guys.
Oh,
and I just kind of watched it for its costume design, and I wasn't paying attention. It was really hard to keep track of all the names and stuff. So now I rewatched it with subtitles and truly tried to invest myself in the story. And I agree with everyone. It's really great. Like, I get it now. For so long, I was not in that bandwagon, and now I'm fully on board. Handmaid's Tale is also like amazing world building, like amazing technically as well. And the attention to detail, it's just like the camera work and just kind of watching how they tell the story. It's just really aspirational. Big Little Lies, great acting, awesome storytelling, big twist at the end. Can't wait for season 2. Fleabag, super funny, heartbreaking, amazing acting, and also really interesting in the way they tell the story. I hope that it wasn't too much.
No, it's good.
It's just good. Go and watch these shows after Flunk. Yeah. Oh man, so much good stuff at the moment. I'm just really excited about watching stuff. Alrighty, so we've got a question for you next. Do you think you have a similar style of dressing to Dani? I think she has a good dress sense.
Yo, that actually means so much because all the clothes I wear are my own. I bring all my own stuff to set to wear because I only wear like 10 shirts and I've worn all of them in this series, like pretty much everything. There was actually a necklace that my mum gave me that I never wore, and the first time I ever wore it was in Flunk. It was the little silver one, not this silver one, but yeah, so we have a very similar dress sense, which is just jeans, t-shirt, jacket.
I've run out of clothes. Basically all the clothes that I have been shown on Flunk already.
Yep. We'll have to get some more.
Yeah. All right, the next question is favorite place in Australia. Oh, this is more interesting for you because you've lived in different cities, whereas I've always been in Melbourne.
I've lived in 3 different cities, but verging on 4 for a very short amount of time. So I've lived in the Sunshine Coast, in Queensland, Toowoomba. I lived in the Gold Coast for a very short amount of time, and now I live in Melbourne. And I think my favourite place in Australia... is my home on the Sunshine Coast. I live in a really beautiful kind of like rainforest kind of bush area overlooking an amazing view, mountains and bodies of water, and
That sounds amazing.
it's phenomenal. We built the house there, so like we spent many years, you know, cementing that. It's been there for decades and decades. So yes, that's my favorite place. My mum will be happy to hear that. She's always like, you can come home. You can always come home. There's always somewhere to come home to, which is true. There is always somewhere to come home to. So that's my favorite place in Australia.
I mean, I've gone to different cities, but I just can't not say that it's not Melbourne.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I've had years and years to kind of explore the nooks and crannies of the city. I've always been pretty central. I like grew up in North Melbourne, and then now I live in the city. And I don't know, it's just like, no offense to people from Adelaide, I have a lot of good friends from Adelaide, but it's just like the water's disgusting, there's nothing to do there. Sydney is just kind of like a worse version of Melbourne, and I'm a city girl, so it's just absolutely brutal.
Just shredded them.
You know, drinking water, delicious. Like so much good food. It wasn't until I went to the States for 4 weeks that I realized how good Melbourne food is. It's just like good food that's cheap and accessible. It's just everywhere. Whereas food over there, it's expensive, bad for you, and doesn't taste good, in my opinion.
You heard it here first.
Yeah. You know, it's like a melting pot. So, I don't know. It's just a very biased answer, but I'll have to say Melbourne.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the next one is, I mean, I saw Jess, so I guess it's a question for me. So you can ask me. Yes, Kelsie.
Do you truly believe Ingrid is ready to move on from Stella?
Do I think she's ready to move on from Stella? I feel like I keep reiterating the same point, but I just feel like it's really accurate. It's like the first person that you have an intimate relationship with, it's like the first time you open yourself up, and it's really scary, and then that feels familiar, and if you get traumatized by that experience, I feel like you're unhealthily drawn to that kind of same that same situation. And with Dani, it's like everything's new and different, and I feel like Ingrid didn't really get a choice with how things ended with Stella, because she got sent to Adelaide where the terrible water is and there is nothing to do.
Yeah.
And so she kind of had to move on. She didn't really have a choice in that. And then the way things panned out in the episode, you'll have to find out. But I would be hesitant to say that you can move cleanly off like a first love.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really been that long, I don't think. I don't know. Yeah, probably not. That's my answer. All right, so our last question is for Kelsie, and the question is, does Dani have any past love that might come up and force Ingrid back to Stella?
Well, we already kind of know that she does. That Freya has come on the scene and yeah, boo. And, you know, we understand that they were once intimate, and you know, how we're kind of like, it's a little bit in the dark or a little bit subtextual of what the relationship was like. It might not have been a super happy relationship. And yeah, and I'm sure that there are also like other exes out there. Like the big joke in the queer community is that you literally date everybody and everybody knows each other's exes, and it's kind of true. So I feel like Dani falls into that a little bit of like, she's dated a ton of people, so there would be a ton of people who, you know, could come on the scene and kind of mess things up. That's going well with Ingrid and Dani. and Freya's definitely one of them. She just walks on in and is like, hey guys, I'm super hot and I know it, and go away. Like, she's great.
It's like rude comment disguised as nice comment, rude comment.
Yeah, your hair is like so good. It makes your face look so skinny.
It's like the scene with Regina George in Mean Girls. It's like, I like your bracelet.
That's the fuggliest bracelet I've ever seen. Like, she's literally like a mean girl. It's awesome.
We don't like mean girls.
No, we don't. But she's so fun to watch. And Lin is
really
so
fun
lovely.
to watch.
So.
Yeah, it's really fun doing scenes with her as much as I'm just like, I, embodying Ingrid, I'm tired. Yeah, well, that's all the questions.
That's all the questions. So this was part 3 of 3 parts of Q&A. So if you want us to do any more of these, so wing us messages, let us know, comment down below, and
were you surprised by any of our answers? You should answer some of the questions that we answered.
Please.
I want to hear your point of view as well. Yeah, other than that, give us a like, subscribe, turn that bell on, and we will catch you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. See ya.